still the Spice on Leadership TV. My name is Cynthia Onuadon. Of course, I'm still here with Mr. Kunle Lasami and Mrs. Christine Nwogu. We are still discussing effective ways to parent in the 21st century. Let's take a look at, raising children on the same page. What can make parents not to be on the same page when they are raising a child? And what can make a parent to badmouth the other parent to the child? So let's look at co-parenting. Father and a mother raising a child. What can go wrong? Certainly.
Well, I will say in any home where they are not united in raising their children, you know that there's a problem of such home. Because I don't expect that the father will be saying A, the mother will be saying B. The mother will be saying, don't go there. The mother will be saying, go there, he will not do anything to you. It's at the end of the day, those parents are destroying the lives of those children because the two things will happen. It's either those children will come out unsuccessful in life, or even when they come out successful, they will not regard one side. I don't know. They will not have one. They will not have regard for either the father or the mother, depending on the side.
What kind of example, each of these parents have been showing. Talking bad about the second one.
Mm-hmm.
Even some of us, we do. We say,
no. Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example. You talked about this lady that was killed by this killer boy. Let us look at that example now. Let's look at it that the father had been warning this lady about going out with that guy, bringing in things I did not buy for you, while the mother was urging her on.
This is speculation. Anyway.
Yes, and no, that's why I say it's an example.
Right.
Yes, just an example. And in a situation where the let's look at it that the girl didn't die at the end of the day, he will see the father as a bad person.
Definitely.
Who doesn't want her to do well in life. But if the two of them are united in condemning
a child,
at the end of the day, even the child will know that, oh no, I can't do this. My parents frown at it. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. And a situation where your children will bring in something, maybe from school. I do it to my daughter when I see anything stranger. Where did you get this from? Yes, I ask questions. I think parents should ask questions. Because it's from there they join bad gangs. Yes, they bring in things you didn't give them. Just look at this. I will still give an example of this Augusta, this lady we are talking about now. If the mother had been condemning her, because the girl was just still too, I don't want to say small, young for that kind of lifestyle. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. She was just too young for that kind of life. So now see the end result.
Okay. I think also.
Let me ask you. Okay. The truth is that parents not being on the same page can actually cause a lot of anxiety for the growing kids. And it's very, very unhealthy for them. I know at the end of the day, it impacts on them negatively. Because when these children see that, maybe my father tends to love me more than my mom, they grow up with the impression that my mother doesn't like
me. Definitely.
My mother doesn't love me. She prefers this person to me. And then there's this popular saying, I don't know where they came out with that first daughters are usually attached more to the father, and then the first son attached to the mother. And then because you grow up to meet this kind of,
I don't even know where that generalization came from.
And then the girl will just feel that
my mother doesn't like me.
So at the end of the day, if the girl is actually doing something that is not right, and the mother tries to correct, because she already feels that her father loves her more, and then again, most parents, like you said, want to talk badmouth the other. They may not necessarily do it to, and maybe to bring the other person down. But most times they could be doing it jokingly, not knowing that passes
Yes,
very
a wrong
message.
signal.
You understand? Okay, take for instance, maybe if my like it happens in my house. If my kids are watching television, for instance,
Mm-hmm.
if my kids, for
Is it
instance,
okay?
are watching television and it happens they finish their exams and they just feel that let's watch cartoon till 8 p.m. My husband comes up. I might be there doing something or I feel that they are keeping me company. And my husband comes up to say, no, what are you why to your room? You know, no, daddy, the kids will run to me and be like, mommy, please beg me.
So that is the telling moment.
Yes.
If you support them,
If I now say
that's
if I now
it's a
talk to my
sign
husband,
of-
I'm like,
Allow
these children
them
have
now.
finished exams
Allow
now.
them.
Allow them now. Why are you doing this? Blah blah blah. The children will now automatically believe that their father doesn't want
Like them, or he doesn't-
There's
yes.
this impression.
Yes.
But if I say, okay, you know what, go and sit down, beg your daddy, I'll talk to him so that tomorrow you can exceed this, this time. It will be understood that myself and my husband we are on the same page. Like there are times that I want to come to work and my
Okay.
husband wants to bring me. They'll be like, please now, can we join you? And my husband will be like, no. Like, please, she just to drop me and take them back. He will say no, no for no. The kids will be looking at me. It is beyond me. Mama is not, there's nothing I can do. I'm sorry. I'll talk to him tomorrow. And, then if I say no, enter. The man is saying, and I say,
yes.
So
So
they
the
just feel that
synergy needs
that
to
the
respect
friction.
that they will also have for their father will automatically drop.
Yes.
Because I am always there to alter whatever
He says his authority and
Yeah.
how right
so
or
but
wrong he is.
at the end of the day, both partners should always know that what the child needs is more important. It's not about who wins.
Yeah.
It is what I want that is, it is what I said that you can't negotiate. My decision is final. If I say this and my wife says, it is not about who wins. It's not about who's
Who is right or wrong.
Yes.
It's about what the children needs, what that child needs at that time to help her,
And the impact it will have on those children.
Yes.
Definitely. There's this ongoing argument on Twitter, and people were, there's a particular girl that raised that issue, talking about her father was not there for her when she was growing up, and a lot of men on the Twitter space took it up personally, and they were very angry. So, things moving on in your life as a child, on the ground, you went to school, you ate 3 square meals and all of that. Whose responsibilities do you think those were? Definitely, the father. But then the father you didn't see him physically, he wasn't there to sing a CD with you, tinko. So you just generalized and said he was an absentee, he was not there for me, he was not there in my trying time, or not trying time as a child when I was growing up. A lot of people have this misconception about their fathers. I feel so bad,
even their
for
mothers
the
too.
male gender. And even at the point of old age, you get to see, it seems like children show more love
To their
to
father.
their mothers, not buying. Like, I bought a car for my mom, mama, I made it.
Where is the father?
I bought a house for my father, but you were clothed, you ate, you were sheltered. All of this was the responsibility of your father, even if he was not there physically, to show you that love every single minute of the day. But why do people have that misconception
So, but I think another thing is this, like you said,
about the male gender, the father and all that?
like people always say, oh, let me eat my own now. So they say that's why most parents will say, I'm not sending you to school, let me use my money because tomorrow night it's your mother that will go for Mugo. But the truth is this, that aspect of it, that blame should really go to the women.
Okay.
Because I know that from the look of things and from stories we've had from COVID and so on, there are some women that, fine, you're not the working type, or even if you're working in a flexible place where you can go to work and come back. Take for instance a security man who goes to work 74 hours, maybe 3 days. You go on Monday, you come back on Thursday, but his ATM is with the woman. He only receives a lot, but you're the one spending. It is your place to explain to the children the role of your husband.
Yes.
Come, he's very busy, he's this, but he's providing for you. Even when you're the one doing, always say that, myself, don't worry. Even if you have the money and your child asks something, don't worry, let me discuss with them. We'll get it for you.
Okay.
And when you even get this, you can always say, Daddy asked me to get this for you. Or I did
And you
this
can
for
say,
you.
go and thank your
Unlike-
father did
yes,
this
despite
and
it
did
being that you are the one who provides it. But some mothers will always want to take the glory. They'll be complaining, your father is not, he's a useless man, he's just to be drinking, following women, blah, 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 blah. Okay, there are some women, and you know that when you start bad mouthing this this other spouse of yours to your children, they grow up with that mindset.
Yeah.
They grow up hating the person you're condemning, be it the father or the mother. Some women, like nurses for instance, will be very busy. At night, they are not there to do the job. And maybe the man comes back for work by 5. And he'll be instilling this thing in the children that your mother is a useless woman.
She's not present in your life.
Blah, blah, blah. But you forget that all the money she's making, she's bringing it.
Mr.
The
Kunle,
woman
do you
is
feel-
collecting her money and supporting you
Yes.
to build. Most structure that families live in is just from the woman's sweat. But the man will take the whole glory. So it's only
It's just-
few children who will see things and understand it for themselves.
If they are not told that this is what is actually
Yes.
what's
Let
obtained,
me-
So it's
They would
also
not know.
because on you as the father or mother, whether you're working.
Not
This
to
is the-
belittle
this is
your
21st
spouse to your
century,
children.
For God's sake. You have your phone. In the modern time, you have your phone. Whether you're at work or not, call your kids. How are you doing? Have you slept? Have you eaten?
Let me- let me give you. Let me. Please,
So,
let me
Kunle,
help
do you
you.
think
Let me help you.
fathers are unappreciated?
No, let me. Yes, I will come to that. But let me just help Christy. Yes, fathers are actually unappreciated.
So you feel that
And
way?
yes, and it is the fault of the women. Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Women are taking the blame for
yes.
this.
It is the fault of. Thank you.
Okay.
But before I go there, before I come to this, let me quickly say something. When you say, despite the fact that you are a busy man, find time. Also, find time for your children. Find time to play with them. Find time to be around them. Express love.
Then
Call them.
also,
Let me
yes.
give you an example. My daughter is in boarding school. At the moment, she's writing GCE. And about 2 weeks ago or so, I told the mother, I said, "Kai, I'm missing this girl." So I now asked when her next paper is going to, when she's going to write her next paper. She told me, so I went to the school unannounced. She was not expecting me. I mean, the school where she's writing the exam. Immediately she saw me, she ran towards me, and I said, "Kai, I came to check on you. I'm missing you." Do you know what she said? Her response was, "I know." I'm telling you. That was her response, that she knows that I'm missing her. So what am I saying? As a man, try to check on these
Not
children.
just as a man.
And as a man as well, why I say it's the fault of the women is that as a man as well, when you give these children money for their school fees or whatever, tell them, "I've given your mother so thing." Because some women will make it look as if they are the one doing everything. At the end of the day, yes, at the end of the day, when the child come out successful,
And
yes,
this child
they
can
will-
have this mindset for
Yes.
years.
Let me give you an example. I always say, let me give you when we were growing up, I still say it tomorrow. My father will, I don't know whether you met it when we were in school, primary and secondary school, when we are going to resume for another session, they will give us list of books, list of the books we will need for the next session. My father will take us to Yaba, there in Lagos, to a bookshop, buy everything for us.
Okay.
Not even give our mother the money. So that's why, and we grew up with that mindset. I'm saying it now that my father bought our books. So what am I trying to say? When you do anything for your child,
You
let
feel fathers should perform those duties and be present while performing those duties. Is that what you're trying
I don't
to
understand. I don't get that.
It's just
question.
like gender roles. Okay, your mother
No,
is
no,
in
no.
charge of taking you to market to buy clothes.
No,
Gets the clothes from
no,
you.
no. What I'm saying
Father
is,
should be in charge
what I'm
of-
saying is, you said there's an argument on Twitter that fathers are not always there.
They're not present.
They are not present. So, and I'm saying now that as a father, if I pay your school fees, for example, it's my duty to tell you I've given your mother
Okay.
your school fees. I don't know whether you get
You need
what
to
I'm
let
saying.
the child know
Yes,
that
that it is
this and
for
this
me.
and this you did.
Yes. So that when I'm talking about my own father now, what he did when we were growing up, he would take us to Yaba in his car, buy all our books for us. I grew up with that mindset,
And
and
you
I'm
did that
saying it now.
consistently.
Yes, very well.
More than
Very
three
well.
times.
Not in fact, all through our school days, not 2 times, not 3 times, all through our school days. So when you pay for it, it's just school fees. It's
But
just an
men are
example.
just used to dropping the money and
That's why I said. As a father, be there. Find time for your children.
Okay.
Not just dropping the money. Find time for them too. Be around them too. You see, when you are around them, it will create a bond in the family that at the end of the day, you people will not be inseparable. There are times that even when
the child doesn't need to be told.
Yes,
The child will
even
feel it that
when the child grows
you are
up,
present.
even when the child grows up and become a man or a lady and is on his own, let it get to an extent that child will miss you. Daddy, come and spend so time with us. Mommy, come and. So it will not be just the mother
What the mother
that will
is
be going
saying.
for mugo. Even the father will be going for mugo. So that's
You
it.
know, when I came to Abuja, the very first time I came to Abuja, I was always communicating with my dad like 6-7 times a day. It got to an extent where my friends were like, "No, this one not be your papa. I don't think it's your father. It must be your, your sugar daddy." I said, "No, it's my dad," because that relationship was there. We built it together. We knew that this was the kind of background we came from. This was our situation, and then we were suffering, but we were loved.
Suffering in quotes.
Yes, suffering in quote, but in that suffering we saw love.
You felt the love.
We felt
it.
that support.
That he was present
Yes,
there.
he was present there to the point that if somebody beats you, my father will follow you. He wants to see that person that beats you, and when he gets there, the person's parents, they knew him that I see
Because
these children,
men are
you don't
seen
touch
as
them.
they
You
don't
see this
really
very one.
show
They
emotion.
don't look for trouble.
Yeah.
They don't touch them.
Men are seen as the
You
gender
know?
that are not affectionate. So I think in the long run that comes back to bite on them, or give this negative tag to men that
you see,
they are not
let me
present.
say,
If you come
You
to
know,
my house
yeah,
now,
yeah.
I sometimes I sit down and I'm like, oh, I'm very blessed, because what I see my husband demonstrate is just what my late dad was doing to us. You see them born to the extent that if my husband, sorry to say a fact, like, there was a day I said, "What is this?" My daughter said, "Mommy, don't worry, I'll handle it." Everybody will laugh. Not that she's going to beat him. Like, "Mr. Man, please, for you to know how they play, Mr. Man, leave the house. Mr. Man, we're asking you to leave this room, go to your room, please, leave our room. You can't come and the way we play,
yeah, that's why I said one day. That's why I said.
that my neighbors will be like, we really like the way people play. Or sometimes you think that people have visitors, you didn't know that it's just the vibe of.
That's why I said.
Okay, so I think
that's why I
in
said.
essence, men need to, be a
It's
lot
not
more.
the-
Yes, that's why I said.
This
That's why I
command-
said. When you, as a man, when you find time for your family, your children, your wife, the bonding will be there. Even when the children are no longer there, they will be missing you,
Yes.
and they will want you to come around. So that is what so many men don't know. Up till today, some men are still like, "I am the father. You cannot just leave that place." It is not like
And
that.
giving orders.
It doesn't work like
No.
that. It doesn't work like that. Let your children be free, be very free with you. Like my daughter,
if
she's
you have
very,
a child that
in
is
fact,
not
let me
eating-
tell you, my daughter calls me comedian of the house.
Okay.
Just because I play a lot, I joke a lot with them. For a child to call the father, I don't, that's the extent of closeness.
Yes.
That's it.
Okay, that's why we get to see in old age a lot of men complain that
Yes.
they get the attention.
Yes. Yeah, when you
Yeah,
hear some
children.
people say that, well, you don't blame the child, you don't know what the father has done to him or her when they were growing up. I think those comments are right too. But my advice is for men
To
to
do a lot more.
a lot more love your child,
And bond.
stay around them, play with them. Don't be too harsh on them. Yes, be
Try to
harsh, but
understand
don't
them.
be too harsh. Try to understand them. So these things, at the end of the day, will still come back to you.
All right, we're ending the show now, so let's just go right into effective ways to parent in 21st century. That's the encompassing reason why we've been having all this conversation. All right, on 21st century. So, what is the right way to raise a child or the ways rather to raise a child in 21st century? You just talked about one now, the
Yes.
whole authoritativeness,
Yes.
Which is
should be put
he
aside.
just addressed time scarcity.
Yes.
Always being there for your kids and bonding with
Yeah,
them.
definitely.
And then I also said another one now. I talked about being harsh. but not being too harsh on
Being
them.
firm yet flexible.
Yes, being firm yet flexible. Like I said, my daughter calls me comedian of the house, but then when I feel I should take action, I take action.
You need to be firm. You
Yes.
Be firm.
Yeah, you need to be their friend as well. Because some of these things, like I said, if the way you treat them will come back to you. See, the summary of the whole thing, everything we are saying here, is that try as much as possible and bond with your family, not just your children now, even your wife, inclusive, as a woman, your husband inclusive. Because at the end of the day, you guys will become inseparable. Even when the children are gone, they will always want you around. They will always want the children. I'm talking about my parents now. It is because of the way they handled us. I love the way they handled us. That is the see. This may sound funny. I always tell people that I did not grow up like a normal young man.
Okay.
Thank you. I know you are interested in what I mean by that. I will explain. I didn't grow up like a normal young man, in the sense that when I was growing up, I didn't have a girlfriend. In fact, I didn't know how to toast a lady. The very first lady I wanted to toast, I remember that when I was in school, my mouth was shaking. The lady just shook her head like this and said she no gree. So as I left, so it was that bad. Even when I was
responsible for that, your upbringing.
Yes, it's still the upbringing. Let me give you an example. I never wanted to say this before. When we are in the house, there are extended family members that we stay together. Then by 6:37, my mother does not even want to see you downstairs. If he sees us, maybe 5, 6 of us at the gate, we're just guys or men. Or we are men, guys. We're just at the gate, gisting. My mother will come to the balcony. What are you people doing there? See, I should line up there like prostitutes. We are guys, so not ladies, so guys. So he doesn't even want to see you
Loitering around.
something. I don't know what that it starts. It is at the end of the day, I ended up loving it.
Okay, so discipline, instilling discipline. I think also open conversation with your children. A lot more people don't want to accept that these children that you're looking at are just kids, know even more than what you can never ever imagine. So having open conversations with your children, what's around them, so they open up to you, being their friends, topics around sex education, relationship. Like I remember my mother then, just when I was 11 years old and I was becoming a woman, she just took me and took me to the hospital. I found myself in a gynecologist office, a female doctor, and then she dropped me there and said, when we are done, I should call her. She's going back to her office. I don't think I ever got over that. I had the conversation with my mother to how offended I was with that. I felt she should have had that conversation with me one-on-one, but a female doctor was the one having that conversation with me. And at night she asked me, "Okay, how was it?
If I want to be mischievous now, I'll say what.
And that was of course it was about sex.
Of course, I know.
But my mother never had that discussion with me. So that is one side of parenting that I think we should do a lot more when it comes to the 4th century. We should change that pattern of, looking at the kids like they are naive. Having open conversations would help us go a lot more further.
I wanted to add that you talked about this sex education. You know that the 21st century children are very inquisitive.
Very, very.
And by the time you answer one question they ask,
another one will come up.
They really want
another one will come up.
You understand? A child will ask you, like there was a time they went to my room they accompanied my girl to my domestic staff to do clean up in my room, and they came out to ask me that they saw pad, not pad. Mommy, you have a small diaper. I said no, it's not that. But if it were my mother's time, come on, what did you? And I had to see that. I said, you don't understand.
It's not recognizing that is a learning moment.
And I said, no, it's not there, but this is not there. But what do they use it for? I gave it to them in a layman's way. When you say this is not bed, they're always very inquisitive. You're explaining they still need more, but in that situation, you have to be very logical and give them something more. And then now later, I said, don't worry. As you grow, you get to know about it. But there are things I keep explaining to them. Okay, there was a time we told them that you don't let anybody touch your private part. You know, when I wanted to pay that, they said, no, mommy, you cannot wash my private part. I said, no, mommy can wash it, you know. They're like, no, but you said you can't wash it. These are things that we need to be open to them about.
Definitely.
You don't operate like a dictator. As a mother, father, you don't operate like a dictator. Operate an open, you know, a family policy where a child can come to you and confide in you. You know, a child, because you're not open with them, they could be bullied in their schools and they will not come to say.
Let me just buttress what you said before we go. There was this CRK in primary school. A child got home and was asking his parents that, mommy, why Joseph ran away from Potiphar's wife? So in such situation, why will you answer that question? I'm just telling you how inquisitive those children are now. So that's just what.
All right, so I guess we've been able to hit the nail on the head when it comes to 21st century parenting and the effective ways we can actually parent our children. Being trendy, knowing what exactly is happening, being in the social media age, knowing what we need to look out for that our children are involved in. Being your children's friend, yes, not just being an authority over their lives, opening up and having an open conversation so they let you in on what exactly they are doing with their day-to-day life. I hope we've been able to have fun while learning a thing or two on the spice today. Thank you so much, Mr. Kunle and Mrs. Gloria, for joining me on the show. Mrs. Christy for joining me on the show this afternoon. I still remain Cynthia Anuado, of course, until I come back next week on the spice. Stay spicy. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you, Sam.
Advert placements. Please contact 080 3688 6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.